Shalom, Israel.
Shalom,
Shalom.
shalom.
Shalom. The trees of righteousness back at you on Thursday. You know what I mean? We're making it a thing.
Yeah,
You know,
all praises, all praises.
here to feed the sheep. You know, and Chief and I thought we were gonna do something special. We're gonna do basically start from the ground up and show where the birth of our nation. That's the name of this live, is the birth of our nation, you know. So we're gonna show how Israel came to be, how Israel became to be the most high's chosen, you know, and what the fuss is all about.
Right.
You know, so we're gonna go into this thing. First, we like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. You know, and that's all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
All praises.
Let's get this thing on, Chief.
Just as Cap said, join us, man. We'd love it if y'all start, participating, even like we do normal time. Y'all get on comments and stuff. Give us a chance to answer your comments and your questions and stuff as we continue to feed the sheep, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? So we're gonna start this thing out, open this thing up. We're gonna start with Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. Once again, like Cap said, we're gonna talk about the birth of our nation. Want to be edifying tonight, man, for our people, man. I hope our people humble themselves, man, and receive the food, man, that the Most High has given us to feed His sheep to, right? Because He placed this on our spirit and our hearts and our minds, so we just want to share it with you.
That's right.
All right, so let's go ahead and start this out, King. Let's bring it on now.
Khan, this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom you made Lord of all your creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom you have chosen.
That's very big. The people also whom you have chosen, right? So we know that Adam wasn't here alone by himself, right? A lot of churches and stuff get this confused, man. They think it was just Adam and Eve, right? They don't understand the Most High. They don't know this word, man. That's why the Lord has given these secrets to His servants, His prophets only, man. Not everybody can understand this word. Just because they have the Bible doesn't mean that it's for them, right? It's, even though it's in their possession, doesn't mean it's for them, right? So we got to break this thing down, man. Let's find out what that means. Let's read that one more time, King, man, so we can go get them precepts and break this down for them real quick.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these Adam also, whom you made Lord of all your creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom you have chosen.
And the people also whom you have chosen. So who are the people that He has chosen? That's the big question tonight. Right? And we're going to show you who those people are tonight, right? Let's go and get this precept. Next precept, let's go to Genesis. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 1. We'll start at verse 26 on down, right? Pay attention as we read these scriptures too, man. So you can and get your Bibles out and follow along. All praises, shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, all praises to the Most High, man. Right? Glad to have you here and everything on this segment, man, as we break this thing down. Let's read this on out. Let's show them who them people are that He has chosen, right?
Come. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. And Yahweh said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all creeping, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Yahweh created man in His own image. In the image of Yahweh created He him. Male and female created He them. And Yahweh blessed them, and Yahweh said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
So now you just heard right there. He didn't call him Adam, or he didn't say the name or anything, right? But right there, He just told you, and Yahweh blessed them and said unto them, somebody is here He's talking to, right? Let's read it again so you can get the understanding of it. He didn't say a name or anything, but watch out. Let's go ahead and start again, King, at 27 on down to 28. We want y'all to make sure you paying attention and you get this. Open up your Bibles, right? Javid, look at that, man. Shalom, shalom, barakatah. Hey, all praises, man. Right. Shalom. Hey, hey, shalom, shalom. You know what I'm saying? We back at it again for the Most High, man, because we love the Most High. Let's do it again. Let's start from 27. Let's go to 28. Pay attention and listen. Get your Bibles out. Follow along.
Come. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 27. So Yahweh created man in his own image. In the image of Yahweh created he him. Male and female created he them. And Yahweh blessed them. And Yahweh said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
You see that? He's talking to them. He told them, go. So who is that? Right? He didn't say a name, but who is that? That he created them and told them, be fruitful, go, multiply. Who is that? Right? You can't just skip over that and just say, oh, it's going to be Adam. He didn't even name him yet. Right? He already told you right there in the first book of Genesis, man. I created them and told them, go, be fruitful, multiply. Who is that? Right? See, these are the questions these churches and these pastors they cannot answer, right? Because the spirit is not with them. The Most High ain't dealing with them, man. He only deal with his prophets, man.
That's right.
So let's go ahead. Let me go on down to 29, and then we're gonna go through it bit by bit, line up on line here, man, just to break this down to you. So follow along in your Bibles. Go ahead at 29.
And Yahweh said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat.
You see that? He's already told them, behold, I've given you every herb. He's talking to these people right here, right? This ain't somebody that's, that he already done formed, Adam done pulled a woman. No, he's talking to somebody right here. Told him, I done gave you all the herbs of the field right here. This is all yours, right? Because we just read you in 2nd Ezra 6:54, because the earth was made for our sake, man, right? This is why we were created, man. Since the beginning of time, and we're proving that. Now let us prove to you real quick, man, that this is where the play is going to come in. This is where everybody get confused at, right? So if we go over to the 2nd chapter and we start at let's start at verse 7, King.
Come. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord power formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
You see that? So right here, he just told you the Lord formed man from the dust of the ground. But over on Genesis 1:27, he said that he created them and told them to go. So this is where that confusion come in with a lot of people, man. They don't understand that Adam wasn't the only one. See, we come from Adam, right? So the Lord is breaking this thing down beautifully, precept upon precept, to help us get a better understanding, man. So we can know what we're talking about, man. We out here in these streets. So we can know what we're talking about. We at our jobs, and they want to challenge us about according to our word, our prince of power when it comes to this word, right? So let's keep it going, man, because now you're seeing the Lord said, I'm a form and a man from the dust of the ground, right? So let's jump now, King. Let's take this over to 18 real quick.
Con, chapter 2, verse 18. And the Lord power said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord power formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof.
So now he done brought him and said, hey, look, I'm going to bring every creature and I'm going to bring them to you, Adam. But over here in Genesis 1:27, that wasn't the name yet, right? He already created them, right? So now we're going to see what that name truly is, because right here he sent Adam too, right? So let's find out as we break these precepts on down, man, and see what the Most High is talking about, man. Because the word itself can't contradict itself. So when people look at that and say, at the beginning, it was just Adam and Eve. No, it was not. It was not just Adam and Eve, right? Someone else was here, right? And according to this word, man, we're going to pull these precepts out and find out. Let's start over at 21 real quick, Genesis 21, and let's work our way down to 23 real quick.
Come. This the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 21. And the Lord power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord power had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
She was taken out of man, right? So this Adam right here and this woman was taken out of man, was taken out. But in the beginning, we read where the Lord said he created male and female.
Come.
Right? He didn't say he took them out, right? So y'all getting a good feed, y'all getting that meat tonight, man, right? Y'all gonna be thankful that the Lord sent the prophets out, man, to break this thing down to you because it's such a beautiful thing, right? So we know now that he told Adam, I'm gonna take female, I'm gonna take a rib out of you to make her. But in Genesis 1:26 on down, he said, I will create man in my own image. He made male and he made female. Them. That's a big key. So I'm gonna hit you with this last precept, and I'm gonna turn this over to Calvin. He's gonna hit you with a great study he brought out, man. So let's go to Genesis 5, and we'll start at 1 King, and we'll bring it on down to show them that it wasn't just that name alone for him. Here we go.
Come. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 5, verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that Yahweh created man, in the likeness of Yahweh made he him. Male and female created he them.
There it is.
And blessed them, and called their name Adam.
All praise to Yahweh. You see that? You got to match that precept up with a precept. He created male and female, created them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam.
That's right.
Right. Bring it on out to him, King.
Come. That's beautiful. That's a perfect history lesson, and really, 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 really deep. What Chief brought out. And most people not gonna bring that out. Mm-hmm. So to sum it all up, Chief is showing. We're showing that it wasn't just Adam in the garden. The Lord made man, and what was that? What day was that? The Lord made man, and in verse 27, he created them in his own likeness, male and female. He created them. And then chapter 2, verse 7, that's when he made Adam and made Eve, and verse 20, 22, 21, 22, So that's a beautiful thing. It's just, beautiful. And when you have a better understanding and a good foundation, that's how you can rightly divide the word. You understand, now we can understand the mysteries of this thing.
That's right. We the only ones can understand the mysteries of this thing. Y'all joining us tonight, man, on the birth of Israel, man. Shalom to Sister Eden Taylor. Hey, all praise to them. Shalom, joining in and everything. As always, man, let them comments flow when you feel something spirit, man. We'll answer with the best of the God-given ability that he has given us, man, and we won't keep this thing moving, right?
That's right. I'm gonna go to Genesis chapter 4. So we established there's Adam and Eve. There's other people, but they're Adamites. Is what Chief showed that the Lord called them Adam. So we're gonna talk about the main characters of this story so far. Adam and Eve. Everybody know about Cain and Abel. You should. They had 2 kids, Cain and Abel, and the first one was Cain. He was wicked. Well, I'll read it. This is the book of the book of Genesis, chapter 4, and verse 1.
Chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
That's right.
Verse 3. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yahweh. And Abel, he also brought the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Okay. So for the sake of time, we're gonna move it on because just for time's sake. But if you read that chapter, you're gonna understand that Cain got jealous of his brother, slew his brother, he killed him, and his blood cried out to the ground, from the ground to the Lord. It's going to come down to where the Lord, the Most High, he is going to replace replace Abel with another son. His name is going to be Seth, right? So we're going to start there and on verse 25 in the same chapter 4, verse 25.
And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son and called his name Seth. For Yahweh said, she have appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. Verse 26. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. And then began man to call upon the name of the power, Yahweh.
Come. So we gotta set Seth is replacing Abel, So now we got a righteous seed on the earth, And if you keep on reading, Cain is gonna get kicked out of the garden, and then Cain is gonna get a wife out of, if you leave it to the Christian pastors, they're gonna say that, hey, he created a kids with a monkey or something, But Chief just gave us the clue. He broke the mystery down before we even got to it. He had kids with the Adamites, the other people that were in the garden, and it's going into, when we talk about, when you go back in there and really read it, and we'll have to do another video on that. But the topic of this one is about Israel, so we're going down the line. Sure. Nevertheless, those trees that were in the garden were other people, other nations. The serpent was another nation of people. All right, so we got Seth, and now we're going to keep on moving. Keep on. We're going to go to if you want to read the genealogies after Seth, you start in chapter 5 of Genesis, and it starts breaking down the genealogy. But we're going to start at verse 18 because Seth had kids, and then his kids had kids, and we're gonna start at verse 18.
Chapter
Slacky. Chapter 5, verse 18. Yes, sir.
Chapter 5, verse 18. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begot Enoch. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years, and begot sons and daughters. Verse 20. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Verse 21. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begot Methuselah.
Now Enoch is a special character, very special, because Enoch is a man. If you keep on reading, he's one man that found so much favor with the Most High.
Sure did.
That he the Lord took him. He didn't die. The Lord raptured him.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go.
So we're at Enoch right now, and we see your questions. We're going to answer those as we go. I will take a break in just a minute. I'll take a breath and get to one of those questions. But right now, if y'all can see this, I don't know if y'all can see that. Good. But we went from Adam up top, then Seth, and then now we're at Enoch. He's a special character. Enoch is going to be the grandfather of Noah. Noah is another special character because everybody knows about the flood. So we go down from Enoch. Enoch had a son named Methuselah, and that's in the verse. Where are we at? Verse 22. Did we read 22 already?
No, we did not.
Let's get 22.
Here's 22. And Enoch walked with Yahweh after he begot Methuselah 300 years, and begot sons and daughters.
All right, one more. And 23.
And 23. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. 24. And Enoch walked with Yahweh, and he was not, for Yahweh took him.
So there you go. He was sort of like what they call a rapture, but he was taken up by the Most High. He didn't see death, which is a beautiful thing. He's a special character. Keep that in mind. Then you go down the same lineage on verse 25.
Verse 25. And Methuselah lived 187 years, and begot Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begot Lamech 782 years, and begot sons and daughters. 27. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Methuselah
is the oldest living person in the Bible, 969 years. This is the grandfather of Noah, So we just following a linear logic.
I'll praise.
We got Adam, we got Seth, we got Enoch. These are main characters. Then we go to Methuselah. Then we're gonna go to Noah, and this is where the party's gonna start. Exactly. Let's go down to 28.
And 28. And Lamech lived 182 years, and begot a son. 29. And he called his name Noah, saying, this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of of the ground, which the Lord Yahweh, the power, have cursed.
The Lord cursed the ground back when Adam and Eve sinned.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got a son, a so-called savior named Noah. Noah. So Noah's in the world now, right?
Right.
All right. And then let's drop down to verse 32.
Let's go to 32. Verse 32. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Come. So now we're at Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And yeah, that's right. Yeah, healthy. Yeah, that's
All
right.
praise Shalom.
The Lord didn't intend for us to, necessarily go down this road, but he knew it would happen. Nevertheless, we're gonna go down from Enoch. Now we got Noah. Well, with Methuselah, then Noah. And Noah. And so when you get to Noah, and I'm talking to people as if, y'all have never heard this. Some of you have, some of you haven't, but this is the foundation of our, of our culture, of our chapter here of our church, that we're just starting from the ground up. So we're gonna have some teachings going into the milk, This is the milk and cookies, on Thursday.
All praise to y'all.
Right? So we got Noah's three sons, excuse me. There's Noah, and then there's Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And we're gonna go into them a little bit, just to explain them, because with them, that's how the Lord populated the world.
That's exactly right.
So you got something on that, Chief?
Oh yeah, just keep let's go ahead and you want me to get right into it, like
yeah,
or you want to just
keep on going? What you got?
Let's keep on going with it. Let's just so we can show them too.
So we're gonna talk about each one of his sons, because that is how the Lord divided everybody in the world. Everybody come from one of these three people: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And if we go into Ham quite often, because a lot of people believe that the black man, the so-called Negroes, were Hamites, were people from Ham.
Yes, they do. Exactly. They believe that we are the same people.
Yeah, they believe that. Yeah, so we're going to read who the Hamites are. We're going to actually go into each one of these different folks, different nations, peoples. So this is the Compact Bible Dictionary, the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. If you don't have one, it'd be a good thing to pick it up, get some definition and some understanding of some of this stuff. So we're going to go into Ham, the definition for Ham. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor, or the father, of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. So that's the Hamites are the dark nations, but not the Negro, right? So Noah had a son, Ham, who had all the dark nations. They come from him. So Africans, all the African nations come from Ham,
right?
But not the Negro,
not the Negroes,
right? Okay. And then we're gonna go to Japheth. I'm gonna read Japheth in the Compact Bible Dictionary as well. We're gonna read who are they.
And make sure too, as King is bringing all this truth out to y'all, man. If you ever get time to go Google on the map, Google Africa's old map, and what you're gonna see is when it pop up, it's gonna say Negro land, right? Yeah. And once you see that Negro land, ask yourself, where is that today? Because when we got off from slave ships, it didn't say African for sale, it says Negroes for sale.
That's right.
There's a difference. This is why Christ, the angel, told Joseph, go down there in Egypt and hide, blend in, right? Same way with Moses, right? So make sure, for your study, for your history, for you to wake up to this truth and this true understanding of the word of power itself, man, you got to have all of this actual knowledge, man. Right.
And also grab your pen and paper, and take notes so you can, or make some notes in your phone, so you can have this information. This is power.
It's power.
Yeah, this is real power. We got to teach our kids all of this. We got to, we got to each one teach one. It might not be our kids, it might be a neighbor. But we got to understand who we are in these last days. That's our salvation.
So praise.
So we explain who we're going to explain Noah's three sons right now. We already explained Ham. Right now we're going to explain who Japheth is. So this is the Zondervan Bible Dictionary definition of Japheth. Japheth, it says his name means Yahweh will enlarge. He is the son of Noah. Japheth had 7 sons, and his descendants occupied the isles of the Gentiles, right? So the isles of the Gentiles, and when you go into Genesis 10, it explains, you know, the different the Gentile nations and that sort of thing. So you can go more into it, but really, the Japheth, he's the father of the Pacific Islanders, you know, certain Hawaiians and different islands like that, you know, over there in Asia, you know, but he's the father of the islander, the Gentile islander, right? Now, finally, we're going to go into Shem. And who is Shem? Now, I know we've all heard the term anti-Semitic, you know,
big time, big time.
Lately with the Kyrie Irving thing and the Kanye West thing, you know, and there's certain people that the Bible explains. Well, there's certain people that kind of coined that term so that you can't say anything negative against them, right? But the Bible calls that certain group of people, you know, we call them the small hats, but the Bible calls that certain group of people the synagogue of Satan in Revelations 2, verse 9. Also 3 and 9, yes. And also 3 and 9. You know, the Lord calls them the synagogue of Satan. It's a people that's going around and saying that they are the JEWs, but they're not. They lying. And we're exposing them now. That's why we're giving y'all this information. So we're going to go to Shem. Shem is the eldest son of Noah, and Shem was blessed. So we're going to read about the blessing of Shem. Let's see. We're going to read about the blessing of Shem. Shem was blessed because Noah had gotten drunk. If you read in let's see.
Genesis 10.
Is that 9?
You talking
Genesis 9. Genesis 9 and 24. We'll start there. After the flood, you know, there's 8 people that survived. You know, all of the Adamites dead, everybody else is dead, you know, all of them people are gone. Now you got Shem, Ham, Japheth, Noah, his wife, and their wives, 8 people on the boat. All the water is abated. Noah gets off the boat. Noah becomes a husbandman, meaning that he started dealing with wine and stuff like that, you know, the vine and growing grapes and stuff like that. Noah got drunk, right?
So you want me to start there 21 on down to 24? You want to just jump to 24?
Yeah, let's start at 21.
Let's start 21. All right, this is the book of Genesis 9 and 21. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. Verse 22. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his 2 brethren without.
Now remember, Ham is the father of the dark nations.
And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, just like this, backward, and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness.
That's respect. That's love.
All praise is kind. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. 25. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants, shall he be unto his brethren.
God, so that's a name that we kind of introduced it when we read about Ham's sons. But remember that Noah didn't curse Ham, he cursed his son. He cursed one of his sons, Canaan. He cursed the Canaanites. You know, but the so-called white man said that the black nation, the black people are cursed because they use the Bible and they reading it out of context, what they try to say we do, but we reading the full context. You understand? And we give them a sense.
Oh, praise God.
Come
on, man. Verse, you want to go 27?
26.
26.
Yes.
26. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
Canaan going to be Shem's servant. So the Africans are going to be servants to the Shemites. Okay.
27. Yahweh shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem.
So the Lord going to bless Japheth too, but what they're going to get is a blessing that they're going to live in our quarters. You know what I mean? They're going to live under the shadow of us. you know. So the
Right.
Lord, yeah. So
That's
the
right.
Lord had already given the blessing, right there.
Right
You
there.
know,
Didn't even
that's
get to Esau. He's already there.
come,
All
come.
crazy.
So if you want to go, in chapter 10, you can read about Japheth, and you can read about, the different you can kind of, it'll go in a little bit of Shem as well, but we're gonna keep it moving for time's sake.
All praise to y'all. And what I want to say real quick while we're
Oh,
still
yeah.
keeping this thing moving, what Cap just brought out to you, I hope y'all was really paying attention, because if you notice about Noah, Noah told all three of them, right, what was going to be on them, what was going to befall them, and all of a sudden, you know what he said to Shem? Blessed be your God.
Come,
He didn't say that to Cain or Japheth. He didn't say that. He
come,
said, blessed be your God. Why he
come.
say that? Right? Because he's the only God of Israel.
That's
It's
right.
we bringing this thing out. Pay attention, man. Look, you got your Bibles out. Take notes. Read, man. Read. Right?
Come. Let me get a sidebar real quick. Matthew chapter 10, verse 36. And we're gonna bring it back. Just to get a point on that, 10 and 36.
Matthew chapter 10 and 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
He said, a man's enemy shall be they of his own household. So what we reading right now, we reading about Noah, his three sons, right? Shem, Ham, and Japheth. This is who the Lord is going to repopulate the world through, right? But my point in going to Genesis, Matthew 10 and 36 is that a man's enemy is going to be they of his own household. So these different nations that's going to come out of Ham, the dark nations, they're going to be enemies of some of these nations that come out of Shem and Japheth. These are all the nations that are on the earth now. And we've been having wars since the beginning of the world. So, all these are going to be enemies, even though they were all brethren at one point. They're going to be enemies. That's why Chief just brought out and pointed out that Noah said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem. He's already directing it. The Lord he's precise and concise. He brings it all the way down to who it's supposed to be. He already got it set up from the beginning, and we're gonna get to that.
All praise.
Right. So right now we know who comes from Ham, the dark nations. Shem, we kind of touching on that now, and Japheth are the Pacific Islanders, the different islands around the world. Let's go to Genesis chapter 11, verse 10, King.
Chapter 11, verse 10. Genesis chapter 11, verse 10. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begot Pekseh 2 years after the flood.
Come, let me stop there. So Shem is going into his generations, right? This is the blessed one of Noah's sons. So he had our Faxit. Then we're gonna go down. He's gonna have Salah gonna have Eber gonna have Peleg gonna have Rueg, then Saru, and then Nahor. And Nahor is gonna have so Nahor is going to be in verse 22, but then Nahor is going to also have Terah. And Terah is Terah is going to be, we're going to start, let's start there at verse 24, Ken.
Verse 24.
In chapter Genesis 11 and 24.
And Nahor lived 20 years and begot Terah. Verse 25. And Nahor lived after he begot Terah 119 years and begot sons and daughters. 26. And Terah lived 70 years and begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran.
Come on. So now through Shem, we got Abraham or Abram. We got Abram, we got Nahor and Haran, right? So we got three brothers from this man, and this is all down Shem's line.
Shem's pedigree, lineage.
Come. So now we narrowing it down, right? So we're gonna pick up on this Abram, Right. Let me get let's go down to let's keep on reading 28 through 30. Matter of fact, I'll get that one. Let me get it. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. So we were from Ur of the Chaldees, which is right now it's over there, Iraq, Iran. But that was full of dark people. You know, that was a dark nation over there. So that's where Abram began, right? And so now we know that one of the brothers died. One of these three brothers died, and that was Haran. So verse 29, and Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. But Sarai was barren; she had no child. Right. So Abram has no child. He got a wife named Sarai, no child. Right. We're gonna zone in on this man Abram. Right. And Terah took Abram his son, and the son of Haran, and Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife. And they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. Remember that name, Canaan? The Lord said, who was it? Noah said, "Curse be Canaan." Right? The son, yeah, he's gonna be a servant. So we know that's Ham's son. That's the dark nations. So Terah took Abram, Sarai, Lot, and they went from from over there in Iraq, Iran. Now they're going towards Canaan, which is the land of over there by Israel. Those were dark nations. That's why they called it the land of Canaan. Canaan was the son of Ham, the dark nations, right?
Right over there.
Come. So these are dark people they going to, right?
Right.
And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. So Terah, Abram's father, died, and they're in the land of the Canaanites, right? So let's get chapter 12 up from the top, King.
So that's you want to start from the top straight up? All right, Genesis 12, verse 1. Now the Lord has said unto Abram, get thee out of the country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee.
So the Lord is zoning in, picking out this one man, Abram, and telling him, hey, get away from your peoples, leave all that stuff behind, and come over here. I'm gonna show you something, right?
Right. Verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
The Lord said he's gonna make, so he promising Abram kids. He promising him a great nation. He promising him a name in this world, right? He's separating him from people. He ain't telling them, hey, just stay there, and he's separating them, and then he's giving them that's a promise. When the Lord says something, it's gotta happen. He's giving them promises. This is a covenant, right?
Praises, man.
He said he's gonna make of him a great nation and gonna bless him and make his name great, and you shall be a blessing. Verse 3.
Verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed.
The Lord said he's gonna bless them, whoever it is that blesses him, he's gonna bless them. He's gonna be a friend to his friends, in other words, right? But his enemies, right? Abram's enemies, the Lord gonna be an enemy to them. Come. He said, and then you shall all families of the earth be blessed. All the families of the earth are gonna be blessed in righteous Abram, right? You got a precept, King?
I want to say something on that right there, because that just resonated with my spirit right there, where verse 3, where he says, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. What they don't realize at that moment for these other nations, King, is the Lord just said a blessing and a curse before you, like he did with us in Deuteronomy 28, when he said, choose this day when you will serve life or curses, right? So he's telling them, if you bless my children, I'm going to bless you. Right. But if you curse my children, I'm going to curse you. Right. So every nation has done cursed the children of Israel.
That's right.
Has they not?
That's right.
Right. They don't even understand it. I've heard so many people read that precept and not break that down. And these call themselves pastors and everything, not understand it. The Lord put a curse before you right there, man. Told you if you bless him, I'm going to bless you. But if you curse him, I'm going to curse you.
That's right.
So how can you get around that, man? That's truth, man. That's right there. It's powerful, man, to the Most High. Most High know what he's doing, man. He can't contradict himself, man. This thing is beautiful how it's coming out tonight, man. All praise to the Most High, man.
Come. So, and that's a mighty point, like we said, the Lord is blessing people and he cursing people all based on Adam, which goes back to the very first precept, King. that you brought out in 2nd Ezra 6:54, that the Lord made the whole world for our sakes.
Our praise.
And that's so beautiful. The best part about this thing, man, is how the word just come back in full circle. You know what I mean? It come right back in full circle, right?
How beautiful.
Let's go to verse 4 right there.
Let's go to verse 4. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him.
Mm-hmm.
And Abram was 75 years old, and he departed out of Haran.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to 5.
Let's go to 5. And Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all of their substance that they had gathered, and the souls of they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came.
Come. So Abraham, he obeyed the Lord.
He sure did.
And he left. He took Lot with him. You know, this is his nephew. He took his nephew with him. You know, but the Lord obeyed him. And they had great substance, right? Meaning they were wealthy. They were rich, right? And you keep on reading, they're going, they had so much substance that he had servants and Lot had servants. They were all rich, right? They were wealthy, right? So then we're going to read that they're going to make a decision to split up, right? Because you'll read that Lot's servants and yeah, they didn't get along with Abraham's servants, so they decided to split. They brothers. They that's his nephew, but that's his brother. And he's gonna tell him, hey, wherever you want to go, you go, and I'm gonna go the opposite way. Right. You know what I mean? So because the land ain't able enough to bear us anyway. We got so much stuff. You go do your thing, and I'm gonna do my thing. We ain't gonna beef. We're gonna just separate. So we're gonna go to let's go to chapter 13, King, verse 10.
Genesis chapter 13, verse 10. And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the guardian of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11. Then Lot chose him all the plains of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves, the one from the other.
Uh-huh.
Verse 12. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan.
He dwelled amongst the Hamites,
And Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent towards Sodom. 13. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly.
Okay, so now we see that Lot went towards the sinners, right? And you read that story, most people know, a lot of people know it, but the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for being so wicked.
Yes, he did.
Which is spiritual Egypt. If you read in Revelations, what is that? If you read in Revelations, you read in Revelations, the Lord calls this place spiritual America, spiritual Egypt and Sodom, and we all know why. Sodom is, what uncomely, unseemly thing, to sodomize somebody. That's a biblical term. So the Lord, he calls this place where we live in now spiritual Sodom, because of the wickedness that they do with the alphabet community, and he calls it spiritual Egypt because of the slavery and the servitude that's in this place. It's synonymous. This place is synonymous with slavery. Everybody knows, right? So and that's it's 7. I think it's 7 and 9. No, I think 7 and 9. Salaki. So we see that Abraham and Lot, they decided to, part ways. Nevertheless, you can go into that story if you want and read it on your own time. We're gonna keep it moving, right? Okay. So let's see. We're gonna go to chapter 15, Genesis chapter 15. If you keep on reading 14. Abram is going to have to save his brother, his nephew Lot, from being over there with them wicked people. He's going to get captured, and they're going to destroy the whole city and take captives and all of that type of stuff. And Abram is going to mount up 300 and I think it was 16 servants that he got, just servants. And he's going to make an army out of them. And this is letting you know that our forefathers were mighty men. He's going to go and destroy 5 different nations, 5 different armies, right? And save his nephew and all of their substance alive. Then he gonna bump into a man named Melchizedek, who's not really a man, but it's the I think they call it a Christophany. It's Hamashiach. It's the Messiah, but in the in the Old Testament, right? So this is before he came. He actually came as Christ. He's Melchizedek in the New Testament, right? He's the Prince of Peace there. But you can read that, but we're gonna go to
So like you want me to read that one? 11 and 8, Sodom and Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Egypt.
Come.
This is Revelations 11, and we're gonna start at verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
It's talking about the mystery Babylon, America, and we brought that precept out just because we were talking about, Lot. He went down into Sodom, and it was wicked, just like this place. So the Lord said ain't nothing new under the sun. It's just a repeat.
That's it.
Come. So we back at Genesis chapter 15 from the top.
Genesis 15 from the top. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceedingly great reward.
He said an exceedingly great reward. He ain't say just it's pretty good or it's a good reward or your reward. He said exceedingly great.
That's
you know what I mean? That's beyond you could. It's more than what you asked for. I'm your exceedingly. If somebody tell me I'm your exceedingly great reward, my goodness, you know what I mean? That's a blessing in itself. Come on, man. He said, man, hey, look, hey, I'm what you need. You know what I mean? Hey, the Lord ain't talking his talk right there. You know what I mean? The Most High. He said, man, well, hey, I'm your exceedingly great reward. You know what I mean? My goodness. What did he do to receive that? But obedience. That's what the Bible say in Samuel. It says obedience is better than sacrifice.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's better to obey than to apologize and repent. Yeah. It's better to never mess up in the first place. Let's keep it moving.
Verse 2. And Abraham said to Yahweh, the power, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless? And the steward of my house is this, Eliezer of Damascus.
So Abraham didn't have no kids, and Abraham like, look, I'm old. I was already 75 when we picked up on this thing. What you gonna give me, man? I ain't got no kids. You know what I mean? So he asked him the Lord. So come on, keep it moving.
3. And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is my heir. Verse 4. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, This shall not be thy heir, but he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thy heir.
So the Lord promising him a kid. He promising him a son, right?
Mm-hmm. Verse number 5. And he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now towards heaven, and tell the stars if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be.
Mm-hmm. You can't number the stars.
Can't.
You know what I mean? Esau tried to go up there and talk about the Big Dipper and all of these different little, you know what I mean? No, you can't number the stars, man. You can't rename the star. You trying to name them all these different. That's Urian and all that. Man, look, the Lord put them there for they proper usage, and it's really for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We keeping up with the time.
That's right.
Us. The Lord told him to number the stars if you can. So the Lord showing him something in the skies, right?
Wow, man. That's powerful, bro. That's a powerful something right there. I'll praise it, man. Let's bring this thing on out.
Verse 6.
Verse 6. And he believed in the Lord Yahweh, and he counted it to him for righteousness.
So his belief was righteousness.
Righteousness. That's very big. Pay attention to that, man. Because a lot of people don't understand what it means to be righteousness, man. Right now, he's demonstrating and showing you, kept bringing it out to you. This man, Abram, was righteousness unto the Lord, man. He obeyed him, right? He kept his commandments, man. Right? And that's why he's the exceedingly great reward for him.
That's right.
Hey, we want some of that too now. All right?
And if you read verse 7 of this same chapter through 14, really, Abram is making a covenant with the Lord. It's pitch black dark, and he's going to get some animals and cut them and sacrifice them. And this is what the Lord is telling them to do. Right. But we're going to zone in here to verse 13, chapter 15 and 13.
Let's go right to it. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thou seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
Now, a lot of people say, of course, this is talking about Egypt.
Yep.
Of course, it's talking about Egypt because we were, and it'll come down to it. He's talking about, and when he say your seed, right? He's talking about, everybody knows that this is talking about Israel, but then Abraham is going to wind up having multiple sons. He's going to have several sons.
Yes, he is.
But when the Lord is talking about Abram's seed, he's really just talking about one of his sons. Through, you know what I mean? He's just talking about one of his sons, but really his grandson. He's talking about Israel. He said Israel is going to be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Right?
That's right.
Let's read 14, King.
Verse 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance.
Now, we understand, for most people that know this, how it's going to go down, but we really just, we're going through it. We're going to wind up expanding and increasing later on, when he really makes a nation out of us. And we're going to go into Egypt, 80 souls, and we're going to come out a multitude of souls with Moses. He's going to lead us out, right? The Lord is going to lead us out by the hand of Moses. Nevertheless, he's going to lead us out with great substance. He's going to destroy those Egyptians, them Hamites, them Africans. He's going to destroy them, the world superpower at the time, right? And we're going to come out with great substance. And that's what the Lord says. He's going to judge that nation that we got to serve. He's going to allow us to serve them, but he's going to judge them, and he's going to bless us and bring us out wealthy, right? Now, ain't nothing new under the sun, and Yahweh don't change. So even if this ain't talking about our current situation, it kind of is, because the Lord don't change.
He don't change.
If he cause us to come out of that one blessed, he won't cause us to come out of this one blessed. Now, there are other precepts that go into us getting salvation out of this final captivity, because we understand that we're at the end of the world. But I was just bringing that out to show, for context.
Right.
You got precepts on?
Yeah, one precept I want to get real quick, if you don't mind.
Con. Chief got a precept. So we narrowed it down. We went from Adam to Seth, to Enoch, to Methuselah, to Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We understand that Shem, Ham, and Japheth repopulated the world after the flood, right? Noah's sons. And then we understand that Ham is the dark nations, Japheth are the islanders, and Shem, we breaking that down, right?
So this is the book of Ecclesiastics, and I'm gonna go with 1 to 9 to go with Cap's thing. The thing that have been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
Ain't no new thing under the sun, ain't no new thing under the sun. How it was done is how it's going to be. That's a perfect precept, King. Appreciate that.
Right.
That's perfect, and that's right. Ain't no new thing under the sun, and that comes with understanding,
That's right, Con.
Con.
That's why you go precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, line upon line. You got to get this whole thing like this, man.
That's right.
That's what some of these guys, like the dude trying to, I guess he called himself trying to teach or something, man. But he was just like, me and one guy was having a conversation. He was in the background with the Bible on his desk. And every time I was talking to him, a brother of ours, an Israelite, right? He come to me and talk to me and was like, man, what do I got to do? I'm explaining. This is a one-on-one conversation. You hear this damn devil in the background opening up the Bible, yelling out, "This is the will of God," as if he knows.
Oh my God! Yeah, they love to make a damn big scene. Man, we gonna get to y'all though. We gonna get to them. We gonna get to them. We gonna get to the dogs. You know what I mean? We gonna get to them. We gonna get to these other nations, because Shem, it's gonna be a lot of nations come out of Shem. So we down to Shem, and then through Shem we got Abram. You know that Abram was singled out and selected for the Lord to make a mighty nation out of him, although he's an old man with no kids, right? So we're going to jump to verse 16, King.
Let's jump to 16.
Chapter 16.
Chapter 16.
And from the top.
You want to start from the top?
Yes, sir.
Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had in handmaid an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, behold now, the Lord have restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened unto the voice of Sarai.
Wow. So
Wow.
men got a way of that same thing. Adam happened to Adam in the garden.
That's right.
He hearkened to the voice of his wife. Yeah. She came with this diabolical plan, to come up with to even though the Lord already told him. But see, Abram, he getting to know the Lord. He's getting to know the Lord. So he did have faith to leave, but now his wife done stepped in it, and his wife is telling him, hey, well, look here, I'm gonna give you, what I mean. So she's trying to make sure he get a kid, but you don't got to help the Lord,
no,
right?
You don't. No, you don't.
We only mess things up.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely right. Bring that out, King. That's right.
We only mess things up. Verse 3.
Let's go with verse 3. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife.
So she became his wife, is what it's saying. You know what I mean? Yeah, we know that Abram had kid by Hagar, the Egyptian, the maid, the servant, right? Because his wife didn't believe that she was going to have some kids. She wanted to speed up the process or whatnot. So now she done this thing. But if you keep on reading down, she gonna despise Hagar and the son. She gonna despise them in a minute, and they're gonna run off, and then they're gonna come back. And and Abram, he kind of submitted to his wife, and wanted to please her, right? But we're gonna read about this son. We're gonna read about this son that Abram has, his firstborn, right?
Right.
So we're gonna read about it. Matter of fact, let me get a definition. You got something too.
And also what Cap brought out, which is a great point too, is what he said about in the garden with the man hearkening to the woman. Is this is what get us in trouble, man, when we try to figure out we can help God move up the process a lot faster than by going on and making that. Because when Sarai did this is where you getting the children of the flesh, right? That it talks about in Romans, right? So pay attention as Cap is bringing out all these nations and everything. This is what it means when you get down Romans, man. It's talking about the children of the flesh, man, right? Because she's the bond servant of the servant. She's the one that Sarah turned around and said, hey, man, just go into her. She should have just waited on the Lord, right?
That's right.
She got impatient enough and said, you know what? Go ahead, take her as a wife and everything. Man, is there anything too hard for the Lord?
Not at all.
His arm is not short at all. Man.
That's right.
But you know what? That's you know what? You can tell that's us, man. That is us as a people, man. You're
just trying to have some peace, man. You know how they say we just want to have some peace, but we kind of took the back seat and allowed, and men got to be mighty men. We got to be leaders at all times. And if it go wrong, it is what it is. But hey, look, we got to take charge and say this is what's going down, and hey, and I got to stand my ground.
That's right.
That's
all
what
praises,
it is,
man.
And y'all got some good questions. We're gonna answer those questions too.
We're gonna answer
good questions.
Good question.
Now I'm gonna go into we're gonna go into the son. Let's get verses in chapter 16 of Genesis. Let's go to verse 10, King.
Let's go to verse 10. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for a multitude.
Okay, talking to the angel of the Lord is talking to Hagar. She done ran off, and the angel of the Lord stopped her, right? Because the Lord already gave the blessing to Abram, already, right? He already gave the blessing to Abram, so whatever he touches is going to be blessed. So this angel is telling Hagar, hey, look, you know what I mean? Why you crying? You know what I mean? And everything. We ain't going to go read it all, but he told Hagar, I'm going to bless your seed too.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, he's going to be a mighty nation too.
Yeah,
he's going to be he said he's going to multiply his seed exceedingly, that it should not be numbered for multitude. So I'm going to have plenty of kids, right?
Right.
Let's get verse 11.
Verse 11. And the angel of Yahweh said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord have heard thy affliction.
Right.
Verse 12. And he will be a wild man.
He's going to be a wild man.
Better hold that, keep that in mind. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
So we're going to read who Ishmael is, an Ishmaelite. Let's read about that. Back in the Zondervan. You need to pick one up if you ain't got it.
Exactly.
Ishmaelite, a descendant of Ishmael, right? So you got 18 nations in the Bible. You got the Israelites, who was the top nation, of course. Then you got the Ishmaelites.
Mhm.
You got the Edomites. You got the Moabites. You got the Ammonites. You got the Elamites. You got many different nations in the Bible. We're reading about the Ishmaelites. Ishmaelites are the descendants of Ishmael, right? Who we're reading right now. Abram's son, excuse me. A descendant of Ishmael, the son of Abraham and Hagar, right? And his Egyptian wife became the princes and progenitors of as many, excuse me. Let me back that up. Ishmaelite, a descendant of Ishmael, the son of Abraham and Hagar. The 12 sons of Ishmael and his Egyptian wife became princes and progenitors of as many tribes. They lived in camps in the desert of northern Arabia, although occasionally some of them settled down as the Nabateans, right? But the point in that is they lived in northern Arabia, right?
Mhm.
Ishmael's kids, northern Arabia, the Arabs, in other words. These are Abram's sons. They are also Shemites. They're the first, these are Shemitic people, right? So they are Shemites, right? So we just established, we going back on that word, they coming from that man Shem, right? So those are the Arabs, right? So we're gonna keep it moving. Now we're in let's see. Okay, so we're gonna go to let me get verse chapter 17 and verse 1, King.
17 verse 1. 17.
Salakia. Let me get 16 and 16 and then 17.
16. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram.
So Abraham at this point, he 86 years old, wow. Right? 86 years old, he finally got his son, right? Let's keep it moving, King.
Chapter 17. And when Abram was 90 years old.
Salakia. Run that back, King.
Okay, 17. You said 17?
17 and 1 year.
Okay. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty power. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
He told him to be perfect. Walking before him, he told him to be perfect. Now, Abram is 99 at this point. One verse before that, he was 86. So 13 years later, we know that Ishmael is 13 years old, right? He's a young teen, right? And the Lord told him to be perfect.
At that age.
Be perfect. Walk before me and be perfect, right? What verse 2? Let's get to verse 2, King.
Verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. Verse 3. And Abram fell on his face, and Yahweh talked with him, saying, verse 4, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Verse 5. Neither shall thou name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
For a father of many nations have I made thee.
Father Abraham and many sons, right?
That's right.
So his name is changed to Abraham, although we kept on saying Abraham earlier, but this now his name is Abraham because he's going to be the father of many nations. Abraham, right? Let's jump to I'll start at 6 and go to 7. And I will make you exceeding fruitful, and will make nations of you, and kings shall come out of you. And verse 7 is the point. And I will establish my covenant between me and you, and your seed after you in their generations, for an everlasting covenant to be a power unto you, and to your seed after you. Right? And I will give unto you and to your seed after you the land wherein you are a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. So let's stop right there. The Lord is telling Abraham that he's going to be his seed's God. Now we know Abraham had many sons, right? So we know Abraham did have many sons. Nevertheless, Abraham did not populate the entire world. So that's telling you that God is, he can't be the God of everybody in the entire world, because he's telling Abraham he's going to be the God of his kids, his seed. Although we know, and when we keep on reading, we'll understand that he's only talking about one seed of his. He ain't talking about all of his seed. He ain't talking about Ishmael. We'll read that. But that's just showing you that he's not talking about, he didn't tell that to Adam. No. You know, he ain't telling that, you know, to Noah. He's telling that to Abraham, right? So he's narrowing it down, right? Yeah. He said that he will be their God in verse 8. You got it.
So real quick, do you want to, while we're dealing with Abraham, do you want to go to, there's another part 2 segment, Isaac?
Oh yeah, well yeah. I was gonna finish right here on this circumcision, and then yeah, we definitely gonna have to do
so
another.
That way we don't have to focus on that. We can show them 25 too. I ain't got to study.
No doubt. Oh, con.
Yeah.
Con. So Yahweh said he's gonna be. He's making a deal with a covenant with Abraham, right? Telling him he's gonna. Let me read it again. Yeah. And I will establish my covenant between me and you, and your seed after you in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a power unto you and to your seed after you, right? And I will give unto you and to your seed after you the land wherein you are a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God, right? And Yahweh, verse 9, and Yahweh said unto Abraham, you shall keep my covenant, therefore, you and your seed after you in their generations, right? This is my covenant, which you shall keep between me and you and your seed after you. Every man child among you shall be circumcised, and you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant between me and you. So the Lord is establishing a covenant between him and Abraham's seed, that you got to be circumcised. Now, Abraham, 99 years old. Imagine that, right? And we understand what circumcision is: cutting the foreskin of your private member there for the males, right? But the Lord said, this is going to be my covenant. You got to be circumcised. So if you keep on reading, Abraham is going to circumcise all of the people in his household, himself and his son at 13 years old. But, you know, later on, it's going to be established that Israel has to be circumcised on the 8th day, right? And we ain't going to get too much into that, but we can in later studies and things like that. Nevertheless, right now, we've got it all the way down from Adam to Seth, Enoch, Methuselah, Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Then we understand that Shem, Ham, and Japheth repopulated the world after the flood. Ham is the father of all the dark nations, the Africans. Japheth is the father of the islanders, right? And then Shem, we understand that right now, Shem is the father of Abraham, and Abraham is the father of the Ishmaelites, who are the Arabs so far, right? So that's one nation that came out of them. The Arabs, they are also Shemitic. Well, we're gonna do another study on this. It's going to be a part 2, maybe even a part 3, but we're going to get to where Abraham has the son of promise, right? Abraham's going to have a son by his kid, or Slakia, by his wife Sarai or Sarah, eventually come, and then we're going to keep this study going. I hope this has blessed some of y'all. You know, I hope this has blessed all of y'all.
All praises, man. All praises.
Con, if you wasn't taking notes and writing this down, you know, back up, take notes, write this thing down, and you know, study it for yourself. We in chapter 17 right now in Genesis, so we at the very foundation of this thing. You know, this is a beautiful thing, King.
All praises, man. You see how that thing got broken down tonight, man. We're gonna answer these questions too, save a little more time, so we can make sure we don't keep you long and everything. Like Cap said, it's going to be a part 2 on this, man. Brought that thing all the way back from the beginning to the middle of the book, and we ain't even got through it yet.
That's right.
So be prepared for part 2 on this, man. So we'll go through here and we'll answer some of these questions down here. You want to read that first one there, King? So we got that.
Come. from Shiloh Taylor 1. This is kind of like modern days Esau thinks like Cain, thinks they won't be punished for their evil doings. And Israel is able. We have been crying out for help. That's powerful.
That's right.
Come.
That's absolutely right. And sister, great point, because they do think they will not be punished. That is why every time when we was out Saturday, man, on the Shabbat, man, we out there teaching. That's why that Edomite came up there smiling and everything, taking photos. But when Cap opened that book up, that sword up, start cutting that flesh, she changed immediately, because they think just because what our forefathers done, we're not getting punished for it. Yes, you are. Yes, absolutely. You are. The Lord is going to get your whole house. He ain't going to leave one. He ain't going to do what he told Saul to do. He's going to do it. He's going to say, I'm going to take all of y'all clean out for what you did to my children Israel. We're special people, and they know it. Right? That's why they won't allow us to leave, and that's why we don't have no equal laws here, because we know we in the land of Eden. Right? That's a powerful question. Like, I like that.
Oh, and a little more on that question is very powerful, because he said they think they won't be punished. So when he goes back to Cain and Abel, the Lord he gave Abel his blessing. He said, yeah, you know what I mean? He accepted Abel's blessing. Cain turned around and got mad because he messed up. You know what I mean? And took it out on his brother. And that goes back to in the end times, when the Lord puts us in our land, right? You know, these nations, they're gonna try to come against us again, because they're gonna see the blessing that the Lord put on us. And the Lord, He's gonna annihilate, the Edomites are gonna be annihilated, right?
That's right.
Because they always been jealous. The Lord, what is that in Ezekiel? Is that 35? It says that they had a perpetual hatred against Jacob. You know what I mean? And yes, and for the sister, you know, spiritually, Cain is Esau. That's right.
That's right.
Cain is spiritual Esau, and Jacob is spiritual. Jacob would be spiritual Abel or Seth. You know.
That's a good one, though. That's 35. Ezekiel, let me bring that precept out. You gonna bring it out, King? 35.
Yeah. Come on, we're gonna go to Ezekiel chapter 35.
You want to start at 3 and go on down?
That's right.
Okay. And this is why it's also gonna take you to get that blood for blood too.
That's right.
You're gonna get that.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 3. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir. We understand that's Esau. We'll get to that in the next segment.
Yeah.
I am against you, and I will stretch out my hand against you, and I will make you most desolate. I will lay your cities waste, and you shall be desolate, and you shall know that I am the Lord, because you have had a perpetual hatred, and have shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare you unto blood, and blood shall pursue you. Since you have not hated blood, even blood shall pursue you.
We try to tell them we out there all the time, man. We getting that contract. Hey,
man.
Blood for blood.
That's right.
That's the Most High righteous. This is why King Cap. This is why they can't accept we gonna get punished like y'all. No, we're getting. It don't matter that. Hell, you can be driving in the car and look through a window, and Esau look at you in the rear view and just be like, what are you doing? They act like they own everything, the world and all. They ain't trying to let that go.
No.
They is not trying to let this go, period, man. You had a man to get on video the other day. And it wasn't just the colored folks up there fighting and everything. He said, before he even started the video, he said, this is not racist, but I just want y'all to see why blacks, what they do when they move to your neighborhood. I said, what the hell did he just say, man? And he turned it towards him. I said, I guess his fool didn't understand what his ancestors have done.
My God.
This dumb.
Goddamn Vikings and all of that. They got a history of being wicked, man. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about it is they own people. Damn, tell them they got a history of, everybody knows that he's the bloody man.
As well as the word tells you that. Most High can't contradict you. Say, he tell you, man. Told you from all the 18 nations, man, and why he birthed Israel the way he birthed Israel, man, and put Israel as his top nation. Right? They still believe that Israel is done away and gone with. Now all of us can come together. We can be one nation. Don't they say that in the Pledge of Allegiance? I mean, we are one nation under God. Where is that at? I'm gonna have to go back through here to see if the Lord said we one nation, man. Because in here, the only nation you know about is Israel. right?
Hey man, they've been trying to cleave.
Ain't
Because the whoever made it, they've been trying to, because they know that the Lord in Ezekiel 37, he gonna make us, the northern and the southern kingdom, one
one
nation
nation,
under
one
Yahweh.
stick.
They
That
trying
ain't
to
happening.
cleave and say, hey, look, we all gonna be one nation. Nah, nigga.
Nah. You ain't getting over here, man. No, you're not. And it ain't for you. And we ain't afraid to tell you that either.
That's right.
This belong to us.
That's
and
right.
Ain't no. Oh, matter of fact, I like that one video with that one dude, man. He had the lady was walking. He asked a devil. He asked her. He said, who would you rather have babies by? A white man or a black man? She said a black man. He said, why? She said, because that can save my children. The melanin they have in their skin with the sun can save them. The white man and their children won't. See, this truth out. They know it's out, right? Only thing they trying to do, man, is say, keep them asleep, man. Don't let them wake up. Because if they wake up, man, boom, there it come, man. Y'all shot and crack this time, man. Right?
And I wouldn't want to have no kids with these dogs. I mean, you know what I mean? First of all, you know, they got recessive genes. You know what I mean? We're gonna be the dominant one. We're gonna be the alpha one.
They know we are too. That's why they want it. That's why they said, give me one of them.
They ain't make that movie Get Out for nothing.
That's a good movie, man. Here's one. This is a good one right here, King. If this is spiritual Egypt, will the same thing that happened when the Israelites left Egypt happen here too?
Come. We got into that. We touched on that a little bit. Yeah, you know. Now we can get into it. We might go a little longer, but I mean, to answer your question in short, yes. You know, we got some precepts for it though. You know, we're gonna leave out of here with a great substance too. And in addition to that, what is that precept that we're gonna have? Our kids are gonna be famous. Let me get that. Let me get a couple of these precepts.
That's some beautiful questions, man.
Come.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Join us tonight, man. Keep on, man. We appreciate all y'all Israelites, man, getting on here, man.
Come.
And humbling yourself, man. Taking time out for the Lord, man. That's the Lord going to show you this on Judgment Day, man. Right? May He bless you, man. Right? Truly bless you, man. Because it's hard to turn around and, you know, study and join. Because, you know, that spirit of laziness done flunked all around the world and everything. But to see our people are starting to wake up, man, and being hungry for the truth, getting on, leaving comments, asking questions and stuff. And that's what we need to be doing, man. We need to be, because we need to break down all that false paganism, mythology that we've been taught and trained and raised up. And we got to renew our minds by this. This is how we renew it. Right?
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 19. Behold, at that time, I will undo all that afflict you, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. Right? At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. So, you know, that's just showing you that we're going to have praise and fame in all the nations. Everybody going to know about us. Everybody going to know what's going on, you know. And let me read a little. Let me get a little more in Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 8. You know, chapter 2, verse 8. I have heard the reproach of Moab, who is the Chinese, and the revelings of the children of Ammon, the Japanese, whereby they have reproached my people and magnified themselves against their border. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, surely Moab, the Chinese, shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon, Japanese, as Gomorrah, even the breeding of nettles and salt pits, and a perpetual desolation. The residue of my people shall spoil them. The residue. So that means the 1/3 is left. We're gonna get to spoil these Chinese, Japanese people. Spoil means we're gonna rob them. You understand? Yes, we coming out with great substance, just like we was in Egypt. We asked, can we borrow their jewelry and their good garments? And we walked right up out of there. And everybody and all the Egyptians was afraid to say something about it. The Lord put the fear on them Egyptians back then. Well, yes, same thing is going to happen this time. You know what I mean? We're going to come out with great substance.
And our praises, mankind. See how Cap just brought that out, man, strong as that is, man. So this is what they don't want to see. But get ready for it, because it's going to happen.
That's
And to
right.
keep up on and that's a good question. Will the same thing happen to this? I left Egypt. Now, when we left Egypt, didn't the Lord destroy Egypt? Right? It's
Come,
like dust cloud over there. King, let's go get Jeremiah real quick. Let's
come,
get
come.
Jeremiah 30 and let's start at 10, work our way down to 11. Let's match this thing up straight for that to show you what's going to happen when he save us, man. Right? Because we know we in the land of captivity. We still here. Right? So let's go ahead and let's just read on down and see what's going to happen when he save us and what's going to happen to the nation he save us from.
Come. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, 30, verse 10. Therefore fear you not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh. Neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save you from afar, and your seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
You see that? Come on.
For I am with you, saith the Lord, to save you. Though I make a full end of all nations.
What?
Though I make a full end of all nations, where I have scattered you. Yet will I not make a full end of you, but I will correct you in measure, and will not leave you altogether unpunished.
You see that? You see that thing right there? I let you know, once the Lord take us from his place, what's going to get destroyed? Hey, be ready for this thing to be like an oven, man. Right? The children of Israel, man, the Israelites, we won't be here though, man.
That's right.
Right? Nowhere in this book has he ever saved us from the nation without destroying them after he done saved us. They let you know he's not going to destroy yet these countries because we're still in them. But when he comes to save us, as Cap just brought out, he's going to make an end of it.
That's right.
Oh man,
let me get a little more on that. Verse 16.
Go ahead,
verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour you shall be devoured, and all your adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil you shall be a spoil. Ooh. Right? We understand what that word spoil means. That's going into robbery. We taking from
everything you got.
Right? And all that prey upon you will I give for a prey.
I'll praise.
Come. Hope this has been edifying, Israel.
All praises, man.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure to come before the Lord, man. As always, man. It's a beautiful thing when we congregate and come together, bro.
That's right.
Love it, man. Take time out for the Lord. This is what I tell people, man, when I'm out there. Take time out with the Lord. And for the brother and sister that said that they will be on, I hope they did get on. I hope they got edified, man. And I hope they came closer to the truth than they ever did.
That's right.
All praise to the Most High, man. Right? Yeah, you want to close out now? Tell me when you're done. Huh?
Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna close out, but we're gonna say if Yahweh willing, we'll be back here, same time next week around 7:30 Thursday. We'll be back on the highways and byways, trying to bid in the lost sheep, trying to gather our brethren, you know what I mean? So we'll be somewhere in the city, if you see us out, you know what I mean, come and build with us. If anybody wants to come out for a Sabbath, and build with the brothers, just leave a comment or tag us or whatever you got to do, But I hope everybody is observing the Sabbath, and doing the things that are pleasing in the sight of the Lord. You know what I mean? We are the trees of righteousness, and we like to say, all praise to the Most High Power. Barakatah. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.
Kwam Yasharala.
Khan. Yeah, you went in on that.